It's 2-1 and the Pacers have just won again. 116-107 over OKC. A win that definitely made a statement. And here to break down Game 3 and to share his insights on how Game 4 might unravel is an old friend of mine, basketball analyst, former Batang Gilas assistant coach, and current scout, Mr. Enzo Flojo. Sir Enzo, thank you so much.
Hey, what's up, Anton?
It's good to see you again. It's good to see you again. It's a familiar feeling as we are about to talk NBA again. But syempre, baka marami ang nagugulat. Uy, si Sir Enzo, nag-guesting ulit. Magkasama ulit sila ni Anton. Just want to get an update. What's been up with you lately, Enzo?
Well, like what you said, Ton, I used to do work for Batang Gilas in the SBP. Currently a media officer for FIBA, and I'm doing sports editing work for a few clients internationally. So it's really been being neck deep in sports media, doing stuff for the NBA, the NFL, and stuff like that.
Yeah. So talagang the grind continues for us, my friend.
Never ends, Ton. Yeah.
All right. So this morning we were up early. We were watching Game 3 of the NBA Finals, and alam mo, to start. Bakit kaya dinadoubt pa rin up to now itong Indiana? The odds were not in Indiana's favor bago nagsimula ang serye. Coming into game number 2, OKC, they were 11-point favorites. Yeah. Coming into game 3, OKC 5-point favorites. And then here comes Indiana. Shocking everybody, taking game 2. Your biggest takeaways. Bakit ba dinadoubt itong Indiana? Bakit ganon?
No one expected, no, Anton, for Indiana to be here. First of all, they were not even supposed to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. It was supposed to be Cleveland and Boston. People were not surprised with New York. It's a big market team. You got big names like Kat and Jalen Brunson, diba? But nobody really gave any second thought to the Pacers, no. I mean, up until now, nobody thinks. Most people don't think that Halliburton qualifies as a superstar. That's another argument for another day. So they've been doubted every single time. And I think that's really fueled this team. No? It's fueled their desire to be able to do well and prove everyone wrong. And so far, they've been able to do that every step of the way. What a lot of people don't realize, Ton, is since the start of 2025, since January 1, if I'm not mistaken, Indiana has had the second best record in the NBA since January 1, 2025. First best record, OKC. Second best since that date, actually, has been the Pacers. So they've built a lot of momentum already heading into this point.
Quietly.
Quietly.
Hindi pinapansin.
Yes,
it's
that's
good
right.
that you brought that up. Because now that you've said that, parang karapat-dapat lamang pala. Nakalaban ng OKC itong Indiana sa finals.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I've been watching a lot of NBA these past weeks and meron akong kinuhang resibo si Charles Barkley. Di ba, after every game.
Maraming resibo si Charles Barkley.
Ako, rinesibuhan ko siya. Kasi sinabi niya, there's nobody beating OKC this season. They're gonna beat Denver, they're gonna beat Minnesota, and whoever comes out of the East. Kinunan ko talaga sa TV si Charles Barkley. But this morning, medyo nagba-backtrack si Sir Charles. Nagbabago ng tono. Now he's saying that if this happens, your thoughts with how our analysts in the States and all over the world are changing their minds with what Indiana's doing.
Well, I mean, if you ask analysts at the start of the playoffs who'd make it to the NBA Finals, I'm pretty sure nobody. I'm not sure. I don't have receipts though, but I'm pretty sure no big-name analyst in the Philippines or abroad would have said the Pacers would come out of the East and meet the Thunder and be 2-1 up on the Thunder. So, I mean, I think Barkley's doubts maybe were warranted, and I think his backtracking is also justified, and that's exactly what the Pacers want to do. They want to disrupt, and that's exactly what they've done. They want to disrupt the status quo and the opinions of people all over, and they did that in Game 1. Coming from behind. Game 2 was a wash for them. But Game 3, when a lot of people, after OKC won Game 2 convincingly, a lot of people, at least a lot of people I know, felt, okay, that's it. Parang Game 1, tsamba lang, nananalo ang Pacers, Halliburton, game winner. Okay, fine, we'll give them one game. But no way the Pacers are gonna push this beyond Game 5. And yet, here we are. And the way the Pacers did it in Game 3, Ton, hindi chamba eh, hindi fluke eh. They kind of like methodically were able to not really shut down OKC, but contain them in ways that mattered. And it was enough to get this win.
And so I want to talk about the bench because in the lead up to the finals, ang sinasabi ng mga analysts at ng mga tao, ang pinakamalalim na bench talaga ang OKC at ang Indiana. Kasi yung New York, alam naman natin, wala silang bench. Si Tom Thibodeau, napilitan na lang
Kung
na
meron man,
gamitin
hindi
yung iba.
ilalaro ni Tom Thibodeau yung bench
diba?
na yun.
Kahit may bench, hindi pinapalaro. Kaya ayun, they fired him.
Nako.
Denver, wala ring bench.
Yeah.
Si Russell Westbrook lang yung bench. Minsan, nagiging Westbrick pa. So, etong dalawan to, OKC and Indiana, they have the best bench in the NBA. But in this game number 3, 18 points lamang yung bench scoring ng OKC. Samantalang Benedict Mathurin, isang tao lang, 27 points. Your thoughts on this matchup between the benches of both teams?
Well, I think that's been the X factor so far the first 3 games. No? Whoever has the stronger bench has the advantage. We saw it in Game 2 when Aaron Wiggins and Caruso were the ones who really stepped up for OKC, and won that game big time for them in Game 2. In Game 3, complete turnaround. No? As you said, Benedict Mathurin, 27 points in 22 minutes, 9 out of 12 from the field. He's his best game in a long time. Maybe his most memorable game ever, no? And he was in a game where you had SGA, the league MVP. SGA was not the best Canadian player on the floor. It was Benedict Mathurin who was the best Canadian player on the floor. And he was playing for the Pacers. Big reason why they won this game.
And para sa akin, si SGA, kasi he set such a high standard na tuwing nakaka-30 itong si SGA, mahirapan talunin itong OKC. 38 in game number 1, 34 in game number 2, 24 lamang. Or was
26
lamang in game number 3. So, that's not gonna cut it for SGA standards. Now, one guy I want to highlight, itong si TJ McConnell. There was this one interview that he took part in, the young man and the 3, and he was talking about how in the NBA, he should have like a certain role. And yung role niya is to guard players 94 feet. Nakita natin yon dito sa Game 3.
That was his unique selling point, kumbaga, as an NBA player. Parang in street ball, siya yung parang gusto mong kakampi, pero ayaw mong kaaway. Kasi kiti-kiti siya sa defense doon. And we saw that earlier today, especially in the second quarter. I think he had 3 steals in that stretch in the second quarter. I think there was even one stretch where he was able to assist on a layup, steal the inbounds, and then get a layup as well. No? And that's important, Ton, because I think OKC, if I remember, they had 19 turnovers in this game. And I think 13 of those were steals for India. And that's important because steals are not dead ball turnovers. Those are live ball turnovers. And that means when the defense steals the ball, they can automatically get a point. That's what TJ McConnell did. What that does is it changes the energy of the team. And that's what he was able to do for the Pacers kanina.
And ayun, pinalabas yung steal ni, titira si Nembhard. And then look at number 9. Look at number 9. Saan siya nakapwesto? Look, he's very active, makakaagaw, boom.
Kiti-kiti talaga to, no? yung tipong ano ba to? Ayokong kalaban to. Nakakainis.
All right. Sir Enzo, looking forward to game number 4. Itong OKC, kung ang Indiana ang comeback kings, ang OKC ang bounce back kings. Kasi hindi to natatalo ng back-to-back. They're the best at bouncing back, and they bounce back in a big way. Do you think that's gonna happen in game number 4? Babawi ba itong OKC? What do you see happening?
Oh my God. I remember you asking me these questions before also, Tono. And I think they will, honestly. I mean, absolutely. And pwede mo ko resibuhan dyan, Tono.
Iba-Barkley kita.
They face a similar situation against the Nuggets a couple of rounds ago. They were down 2-1. They lost Game 3 in that series also, but they bounced back in Game 4. It was a close game against the Nuggets. I think it'll be a close game also in Game 4 at Indiana. But I think the smart money is on SGA, Chet, Jalen Williams to be able to bounce back, square it at 2-2, Game 5 back in OKC, and then that's going to be a barn burner in OKC. But I definitely think they will bounce back because I think it's going to be so important. I don't think they can afford to go down 3-1 kasi Indiana momentum fuels this team. No?
Yeah.
They're playing with a chip on their shoulder because nobody is buying the Indiana hype. But if they get game 4, if they go up 3-1, they're going to have that self-belief. That's going to be, I think that's going to be enough to tide them over for this series. So I think must win on game 4 for OKC.
And in our time of covering the NBA Finals, Enzo, alam natin to, it was only the LeBron James Cleveland Cavaliers squad that came back from a 3-1 deficit. So we could see this again kung mangyari nga yan. But as you brought up, and pati si Kendrick Perkins sinabi na to, when the series goes back to OKC, it's going to be tied 2-2. So, before I let you go, Enzo, eto, kasi nung nakaraan, si Neon Man, Marcus Chu, he was here. Nagsigawan na naman kami. Shout out to Neon Man. He said that this could be over in 5 games. OKC daw. OKC.
Well, definitely not going to happen anymore.
So, ikaw ba? How far do you see this series going? Do you think that there's a chance na umabot to ng full distance? Ano sa tingin mo?
Well, I think that OKC made some miscalculations in Game 3. They're going to make good adjustments because they're that good a team, no? And Coach Mark Diagono is just a very good coach also. And they do have the league MVP. I think he's been the best player, most consistent player throughout the entire season. So I think it'll be OKC in 6. I think that, and this is no knock on Indiana.
Yeah.
They're a very good team. I think Halliburton, for the record, is a superstar in my book. But I think that SGA has had enough. No, I think it's time for him to really put on that Superman cape and mantle and just put a rightful tuldok to his MVP season. The best way for him to end it is with the championship and with the Finals MVP trophy. And I think he's going to do that.
So you're saying that they're going to win the next 3 games?
Yes.
Wow. All right. Well, let's see. Let's see. Sir Enzo, thank you so much for your time. And great doing this again. Finally.
Of course.
Finally, natuloy din.
Thank you so much, Anton.
Thank you.